All right, here we are, the meeting of the minds. Listen, you guys, I appreciate you watching this because here's the thing. We got some really important announcements. And out of which, how did all this start? Why are you here? What's the point? Where is this going? It's because there is a huge gap. There's a huge gap in what we've seen. So Dr. Matt and Zach, like these guys have helped not only implement this technology in more offices than anybody I know and help market them than anybody I know. But when we got together and we were talking, and we're like, hey, there's some problems. And luckily enough, we're the type of people that when there's a problem, we tend to run to it rather than run away from it. Because any one of us could have easily just said, hey, you know what? Someone else will figure it out. We're doing okay on our own. Our families are happy. Our businesses are running, all those things. And yet that just didn't sit well. And so what you're hearing now is an accumulation of several months of planning and prep and saying, okay, we got to do something about it. And so rather than just sit back and wait for someone to do it, we decided to jump and run towards the fire. So here we are. What's the problem? The problem is that there's a big gap in Softwave offices. There's a lot of docs out there, even now, that have the technology, that have implemented, that have been through training, that have done well initially, that right now are fizzling out. They're hitting a glass ceiling, they're plateauing. And the problem is, even organizing and hosting this event, Dr. Matt was even telling me, he goes, you wouldn't believe how many text messages I got from people that are afraid to take off a Friday in their office because they need to be in their office. And I said, well, that's a problem. He goes, I know that's a problem. That's why we got to have an event
They got to
like
be
this.
there. They're the ones that need to be there because time is the new currency. And what I found at this, after placing this in over 600 clinics across the country, these doctors, they want to be in their offices less. They want financial freedom. They want to know what to do with the money once they've made it. And really, what's the why? Like, why are we doing this? Why are we? I mean, we want to take a broken healthcare system and fix it. And this elite group of doctors, especially the ones that are coming on in this inaugural event of Shockwave Business Academy, we're super excited to share not only the science behind it, but also the practical side of this, like how to build that $1 million Softwave clinic. And again, there's other docs out there and consultants that are charging $3,000 a month. This is a steal. This is going to be based on, just like we do the European conferences. Let me just go over the agenda and then I'll introduce I want to thank both these co-founders of Shockwave Business Academy, because this is all about you two and helping bring a vision to reality. And when we did a huge survey to 650 doctors across the country, what we realized is they wanted to become more proficient with this device. And secondly, they wanted to learn the science behind it. So that's why we brought it. I will tell you, Thursday is going to be a kind of intro, kind of inaugural cocktail party with some light hors d'oeuvres and nice food. And we'll have a campfire chat where we're going to see both our keynote speaker, Matthew Loop, who's very influential on social media, and then Dr. John Mullins, 40 years as a plastic surgeon, general surgeon, who's been using this for over 3.5 years, and the amazing book of business that he's created, the pre and post pictures. So we're going to have a really nice day, and then followed by an evening dinner at our Lake Estate, which is just an unbelievable spot. The Seneca Indians called this the chosen spot. And we're going to be hanging out there. And hopefully every year we'll have at least one gathering at this. And then Saturday will be an optional wine tasting, and it's going to be done on a boat. So I'm excited about it. I know there's a great group of docs that are going to be there. And thank you so much. And Zach, you're going to tell them not only did they pay for this event, but they're also going to get 3 months of, is that correct?
Yep.
Member, how's that going with you guys?
Yeah, that's correct. So Shockwave Business Academy is more than just this event. This event will happen annually. Plus we will have some other events, but what it is at its core is a monthly membership that you will have access to a group of high-level docs, in your industry. I know that's priceless. I'm not a doc, but I've spent 5 to 10K a year just on having access to high-level people in my network. But what we're going to do is Dr. Doduro, he's going to go through a research paper every week. So you know how valuable that is. We're going to go through improving retention from a science base. We're going to bring in special guests. So you're going to get 3 months. You're going to get the rest of the year access if you purchased a ticket. We're going to have some extra offerings. We're going to do recordings of this, and you will have, we don't know the price yet, but we will throw in at least a month or two of SBA.
So let me break that down and translate from an engineering brain to a doctor's.
I thought that was pretty good.
Basically, we're adding more value than what these doctors already paid for. That's number one. We're bringing on great keynote speakers, both in the business world and in the clinical side. But also, you're going to get right till January 8th, they'll have access to the Shockwave Business Academy. And if they decide to go further, what's the rates on the year membership? They'll have a special introductory offer as well.
Right. So typically this is $297 a month, which is about 3,500. But we are offering for our Shockwave guests that are coming to the inaugural event, they will be locked into $197, and they will be able to be locked into that for all of 2023 as well.
That's beautiful. By the way, I pay to be part of a really cool mastermind networking group, $1,100 a month. And you are who you surround yourself with, right? If you take your 5 closest friend and average all of their yearly income, that's what you make. And so we're going to take it up a notch. I'm excited. Dr. Jeff, let's see. We've got a couple minutes left on this. We want to try to keep it under 9 minutes. So put this out. Tell us some of what your vision, what your future, what you see.
When you first came to Jordan, Minnesota, and you were talking about not only the impact it had on patients' lives, and we got to start seeing it your firsthand experience. And then I'm in clinics across the country almost every week. I just got back from Michigan, spent 2 clinics up there, and I see the same results. Okay, this is a reality when you say having $1 million Shockwave office. When you first said that 2 years ago, I thought you're full of, there's no way that's a possibility. And yet seeing where people are and now seeing where they're at now and realizing that there's a huge gap and that this event is going to help fill that in, it's a reality. Look at that. Like, I don't even want you to read that. It almost makes me sick just to think of all that, but that's the thinking that went into this. This wasn't just like, oh, let's go through it. There's multiple colors there, all of those things. So I just know it's a reality. And I want to see that because I got one text message from Dustin Bain in Iowa. And literally it changed his life. He was afraid of upcoming. His daughter was going to college and he had all this fear around his office production. And he had already surpassed what he did the entire year before by adding Shockwave by 60 grand. And he still got a whole quarter to go.
That's awesome.
What it's about.
Listen, my original mission was to place this in every major metropolitan area in the United States. We've done that. My second option, my other dream I have is 1,000 Shockwave clinics making over $1 million a year and tithing a certain percent back in to our broken healthcare system and take us from really moderate to good, right? Or go from bad to good, because we can't go from bad to great with this healthcare system, but we're modeling what they've done in Austria and how they've saved millions of euros per year utilizing this as the standard of care. And that's really what we're looking to do. So with that, thank you for all of our doctors who are coming to this inaugural event. And again, some of you can't be there. We will have a recording and we'll add on at least 1-2 months of the SBA privileges. So
Matt, just on your point, I think it's worth noting sort of our mission here. Sure, it's to help docs, but can you just touch a bit on how we want to get these medical devices into clinics that can't afford it and to be able to donate those? You touch on that?
I mean, so a year ago, I made a commitment. It's like, I've been talking smack for 28 years, how bad our healthcare system is. And I was like, it's time I put my money where my mouth is. And what I decided to do with my lovely wife Sherry is we're going to donate over the next 3 years $1.2 million worth of devices and place them in rural healthcare systems. We've got a great couple announcements coming up. Number one, by the end of the month, Life University here at Marietta, Georgia will be the first recipient, and then we're going to talk about the other ones. But this SBA, this is kind of like the Think Center. This is the doctors who are going to make a change, and these are maybe the original couple dozen pioneers that are going to help make an impact in eternal impact, even after we're gone. So that's it. That's the vision. You guys don't have to donate $1 million, but you will figure out how much you want to decide. You don't want to pay it all back to the government every year in taxes. I mean, that's a nice thing to do. I'm very thankful to live here. Jeff's got the proud to be American flag behind us. So that's it. We're going to keep it short, simple. Thank you all who are coming. We can't wait. We'll have some more information on our speakers in just a little bit. Anything else?
You got it.
That's it.